I really can't think of anything that I have today in my life that hasn't been put there, manifested by myself. And to me, that's a great example in demonstrating that you do have the power of choice in this game of life, and it's up to you to create it. It really is up to you to create it. You can't allow somebody else to create it. It's got to be what you want it to be. Life is a game. It's a game. Good against bad. You know, everyone takes life so seriously, and they think that things that happen in their life are like the most serious thing, and that if something happens, you know, we all think like when we're teenagers that, you know, when the love of your life breaks up with you, that it's the end of the world, right? We've all been there, and you feel that thing, right? But the reality is that, you know, you didn't die, and life went on. If you look at where you are today in your life, you are where you are because of the choices that you've made in this game called life. That's the reality of it. So sometimes the hardest pill to swallow, particularly for me, was when I was completely broke. I was like, I'm broke, I had no family, I had nowhere to go, I had no one to lean on, and I had to, you know, swallow that pill that where I was in my life at that moment, this was just several years ago, 2012, 13, 14, that I was there because I made decisions in this game of life that got me to that place. That's the reality of it. The reality, the lie that everybody wants to tell themselves is that you are where you are because of your brother or your sister or your dad or, you know, your cousin Jimmy or your Uncle Bob or whatever, right? But the reality is that's not true. Like, you're where you are in life because of the decisions that you've made and no one else's. So what does that mean? What that means is that means that you can change it. I mean, if you can just think that you are where you are because of the decisions that you've made, well, then that means that you can change the future. You can change what you want to change. So, you know, for me, life's a game. It's a scoreboard, man. I'm playing this thing like it's a game. I don't take it seriously. I don't care if I win or lose. I do love to win, but I can lose too. You know, I can lose. It's okay to lose because it's a game. All that means is if I lost, like I wasn't smart enough or I didn't know enough, and I need to better my skill set and be better at what it is that I'm doing. But it's not the end all be all. There's no person in the world that is the one all be all for everything, you know? Like you create it how you want it to be. And I think that God has given us all of that, given us that ability of free will. Like, you do have the ability of free will, right? That is your freedom of choice. So if you have that freedom of choice, why not play the game to win? Create the best game that you want. I've created the best game for myself. Generally speaking, everything that I have today in my life is there by design. It's there by choice. It's because I've created it, I've willed it into existence in terms of, hey, this is what I want. Down to the company that I want, down to the wife that I want, the friends that I want, the team around me that I want. I really can't think of anything that I have today in my life that hasn't been put there, manifested by myself. And to me, that's a great example in showing that, demonstrating that you do have the power of choice in this game of life, and it's up to you to create it. It really is up to you to create it. You can't allow somebody else to create it. It's got to be what you want it to be. And I think it's a responsibility, you know, to our Maker that you always reach those potentials, those God-given abilities that you have to the highest degree that you can, and that you don't waste them unnecessarily. So I think that with the ability of free will and the ability to go out there after and chase whatever it is you want to chase, you can do it.